short introduction about our participants. So me as a Teemu Hirvonen, I'm a CRO of Seidat. Like over 20 years experience of revenue streams and revenue development and management in different kind of SaaS companies in Europe. And I have a lot of experience of leading and guiding different kind of sales teams in different SaaS solutions in Europe. Small introduction about you also, Max.
Yeah, so hi, my name is Max, and I'm at the moment I'm a marketing manager at Sofia Helsinki and for the restaurant Marga in Helsinki, and I've been doing a side maybe. I don't consider myself that much of an entrepreneur. More like I like to have a hobby with consulting modern sales and marketing practices and strategies to different companies and salespeople. And I have the master's degree in the international business and sales management. And now I've been around 6 years in the hospitality industry. And considering LinkedIn, I've been now 8 years like fairly active on LinkedIn, and I made the thesis, the master's thesis on the subject of LinkedIn and sales, and doing basically the 8 years social selling.
So we have a real hospitality social selling professional on board. Thank you, Max. Small reminder about following us in the social media. You can find us as a Seidat from LinkedIn, from Facebook, and also you can have a free trial right away from our website. So if you have a time or interest, please go and check those out and at least follow us in the social media. With that, we have also on our Sales Academy, which is focused on sales professionals and guiding and leading and helping them to kind of sail through the always drastic changing customer behavior and the sales processes and sales strategies. So there's a lot of interesting content to learn about of sales in all over different kind of fields and phases of sales process. So please check out also our Seidat Sales Academy. Let's go to our main topic, which is the social selling. Exactly. What is the social selling when we are talking about in context of hotels and hospitality?
Basically the social selling, it's a strategy on sales, and that utilizes the social media channels, and mainly LinkedIn. At least I have kind of only used LinkedIn. I know that some people use different channels, but I'd say LinkedIn is the most important channel, and social selling is like I'd say it's a crucial part, or at least very important part of modern sales processes. And I usually like to put the social selling with an example of this rule 90-5-5, which means that when you have something that you sell, you have of course always the target market, and not everyone is buying at this particular moment. So let's say that 90% is not buying at the moment, 5% don't ever want to buy for different reasons from you, and then 5% is now currently seeking for some service or product that they need. And usually when you do, let's say, cold calling, you try to find those 5%. So 95 calls are not efficient, and in this social selling, you will gain the situation that when this 90% goes to the 5%, when they are going to need your services, then they know that, hey, actually Max is the one who offers this kind of service, so let's give Max a call, or let's ask a proposal from Max for, let's say, a venue for event. And that's kind of what differentiates the social selling from the let's say traditional sales methods.
Awesome. It's like creating opportunities daily basis and keeping your audience interested about you and
Yeah,
your
and
business.
yeah, and kind of scale. You can scale yourself with that.
Nice. Why hotels then should utilize the social selling? What is the reason why I should start doing social selling now?
Yeah, well, social selling is basically it has a lot to do with personalities and human. Like when you do social selling, it's kind of you and your name and your face who is now kind of talking is the talking face of this company that or this product or service that you offer, and we know that hotels are really like human to human industry in itself. Like you can't have a remote hotel. You always have the face-to-face meetings with the guests, and that's kind of what hoteliers and people in like event industry, they have been accustomed. So basically when you target hotels or hospitality industry or the people who work with hotels, then you of course want to kind of use those tactics that suit this industry, and kind of social selling is in fact that kind of way. So you, as there's written, you build trust, and actually there's two things that came up from the thesis that I made. So two most important things are getting known by your target audience, and this next one is getting the trust of that audience. So if you get those two things, then of course you will get the increased sales results, you will get brand awareness, and that's true that the buyer behavior has changed nowadays. Well, I don't remember what was the study, but there has been studies that when they, like a company wants to, let's say they want to reserve a venue for some kind of event, they probably know already a few places they want to have them. So they, like, few tens of years ago, you didn't have that. Maybe the phone book for was the thing where you wanted to find something, but nowadays, because it's a different ball game, so this kind of suits that new ball game.
Definitely. Uh, if I think about a little bit like myself, I'm kind of 40 years old, middle-aged man from Finland, and then I feel kind of I hesitate. I fear a little bit of posting my own thoughts to the LinkedIn or a social media. I feel insecure. Should I start even doing social selling if I have this kind of traits or a fears?
No, I think definitely you should do, and I think that's something that almost everyone faces at least at some point of like you starting social selling and doing social selling. And I think it's also sort of like what's the, like you want to develop yourself. So this is one way you can develop yourself, and as it is
Overcoming my fears.
yeah, overcoming your fears and kind of learning how to do it. And nowadays, because social selling is like an important part of modern sales, then, and you being a sales professional, then I think it's actually quite natural that you want to learn and should learn like how to do it.
Um, okay, if I kind of overcome my fears and I will start posting, so what kind of best practices you would give us when I would start doing it? So should I start kind of an joining of different groups or attending the different kind of conversations? What is the kind of the best traits and the best practices to start doing social selling?
Yeah, well, I think the goal is to kind of, because you want to do activities in let's say LinkedIn, so to get yourself committed to long-term long-term activities, then you have to find the sustainable method of doing that. Let's say you want to post every week. So to get that post out there every week, you have to either be very strict and very motivated, but sometimes the life of hotelier might be quite hectic, and like putting out fires, you don't have that much time. So it helps a lot to write posts about things you are interested in, and some things that you want to write about. So I'd kind of find what you are interested in, what your audience is interested as well. So then you will kind of naturally you start gaining thoughts that, hey, actually this is interesting subject, or this is interesting thought. I want to write a post about this, and then it's natural, and then you can do that for years.
Makes sense. What kind of type of content you are using, if you're using it? Because mostly it's kind of written text and being active and being a part of those conversations. But are you using content?
I think like pictures and videos are actually quite good. Some time ago, like a few years ago, I think videos and pictures didn't get that much traction in LinkedIn, but nowadays, at least I've found it that those gain quite a lot of traction actually. And hotels and venues being usually very visual. So in that sense, for hotels, the visual content is really good idea, and you can showcase your product and have like nice looking posts on LinkedIn.
Sounds good, and makes really sense that the pictures are something that should be used quite often in the sales of hospitality, and it's their product. It's their main product is kind of then if we are not putting feelings inside of our conversation and the content, then it's just the walls.
Yeah, that's true. And you have the question that should I post every day? That I'd say you definitely don't have to post every day. I think I've never posted more than like maybe 3 times a week was like maybe the and that's like rare for me. And if I give some like background, so I've been now 8 years fairly active on LinkedIn. I've gained a lot of sales, a lot of inbound job offers, business partners, etc. from the LinkedIn usage. And I've, for example, last year I got around 700,000 views on my posts, and I don't remember the exact amount, but it was around bi-weekly, and I mean like every 2 weeks that I posted. And when I calculated the average amount of time I used monthly for those posts, it was around 1 hour per month. So in that sense, the return on that time investment was, in my opinion, very good. But when you post every day, that's quite a lot of your time, and I found out that many people don't have a lot of spare time. And well, even though I know that there's people who post every day and they get a lot of benefits, I think it's like kind of a scale that you can do a lot and get a lot, or you can do a bit less but still gain quite a lot. So I wouldn't kind of hold yourself accountable to post every day. You can if you want to try, but like once a week is really good. Then if you post once a week, you will win like 99% of the other LinkedIn users.
You mean about the algorithm? So the algorithm will start kind of cheering your post and raising them up.
Yeah, well, of course, the algorithm is one thing as well, but the fact that 99% of people do not post quite much anything. So let's say there's people scroll every day and they see, let's say, 20 posts. So if you post every week, you will get to those post that people see. So you will kind of let's say become a producer and not just the content user.
Or building a thought leadership. You want to be a professional in the field where you're working, and all kind of content that you are sharing should be kind of giving people a kind of feeling that this person really knows about this thing that he is speaking or
Yeah. Yeah, that's actually a good thing that you mentioned, because that I've always thought that there's like two sides or a scale of two sides, being the other side is that very professional, very like you build a professional brand that you are an expert in this subject. And the other side is like personal brand. So you kind of put yourself and what you are as a person, what your values, what you are like. So then you can choose. Some people want to be the expert. They want to, but that's more like writing a science book or writing a book. So you want to, but then if you don't want to maybe use that much time, you can choose something in between. So you can write posts about your industry, about your business, about different situations in your work, but you don't have to put that much maybe. And many people don't feel that they are like a professional. Sometimes when I was starting in LinkedIn, I always thought that am I able to post? Am I allowed to post about this subject, even though I'm not, an expert maybe yet in that subject? And well, again, don't hold yourself kind of accountable of that. You need to be very professional to write about some subject, even though you can achieve achieve the professional brand even without doing that much of expert content.
Yeah, people wants to follow people.
Yeah, and also about the kind of posting, you shouldn't post too much sales. There has been this rule of 60, 30, 10. That's 60% you should write things about your industry that you are interested in, like a general stuff. Then 20% or 30% would be like more your product niche stuff, and then 10% sales. Like every 10th post would be like actually selling that, hey, now we have this venue, we are selling it for, I don't know what weddings, and kind of put those prices, and even that. But if you do it every week, people start kind of not noticing those anymore, and kind of fade away.
Yeah. It's very easy to believe that advice. That was a very good advice for our webinar listeners. So it was a 60, 30.
Yeah, 60, 30, 10.
60, 30 then. So only 10% of really a sales approach materials and pushy materials, and 30% of business materials, and 60% of
like industrial. So
industrial.
for example, you can do different talk about different events. You can even you can take a selfie from an event and say that, hey, this was actually a great event, there was something interesting, and 30% would be the kind of more business in your industry business stuff, if you understand what I mean.
Exactly. Now we have kind of overcome the starting barrier to start posting and being active at social media. We have been talking about the best practices and which kind of methods I should use when I start, which works best, which don't. How about your audience? How do you find your audience, and how you measure, and how you kind of make the decision that which kind of people I want to reach out?
Yeah, so basically, probably you already know that, let's say, as a hotel sales team, you always have these travel managers, executive assistants, event managers, event coordinators, etc. So you know that you want those people to see your posts, and you want to engage with those. on LinkedIn. And then so basically you can just go to the search bar and search with a title, and you can put filters. I think in LinkedIn it's very good filter, so you can put like your city or your country and put, or different companies if you want to find specific like the travel manager of this specific company. So you can find from there and put connect request. But whenever you put a connection request, I always emphasize that, or highly suggest that you put the message with that request, so they know. Of course, if you met them today and you put the connection, they already know why you are putting that connection request. But if you have never met, if you have never talked, you should put like a short message. I usually tend to put very quick, like, hey, I saw that we both work in the hospitality industry. Would be nice to connect. Have a good weekend. Best wishes, Max. And that's all you need. You don't have to put more. And even you can put like only like, hey, would be nice to connect. Best wishes, Max. That already sets you a bit. And whenever you're doing international business, like many times hotels do, so then if you're someone from abroad, they don't, even if you don't write a message and tell like why you are connecting, they might feel that this can be some kind of a scam or a phishing account.
When you find out your kind of your best audience and you have a kind of clear ICP, which kind of people you want to reach out, and you will start getting interactions, you will start getting conversations with the ICP group. So how to turn these discussions and conversations and the kind of the postings that you have done to the real opportunities, to the real sales opportunities?
Yeah, so I think there's kind of two sides. In social selling, it's like there's marketing side and then there's the sales side. So in the sales side, LinkedIn is like part of your sales process. It's part of your sales toolkit. And then it's the same way if you meet face to face, if you talk with them on the phone or on emails, it's kind of the same things that and then the marketing side is that you post, you do the kind of content marketing for them, and from that content marketing, they probably will come back to you with some inbound later on, and as if you want to do, let's say, an open house for event managers, then you can go to LinkedIn to all your event managers connections and write like a DM that, hey, we are holding and we would like to invite you there to showcase our venues, for example.
Those were good examples. What I have heard, most hotels are still trying to drive business for and measuring their business based on the doors that having the people to visit their hotels. So maybe that's the main reason that people should start using social selling, to get people to see you and visit your hotel.
Yeah.
Okay, when we find out the good audience and we find out the different ways to engage them, to kind of convert them to the real sales opportunities. So how to really measure the success? Because for me, myself, it sometimes feels a little bit more like a fluffy cloud or something sidetrack I should do when I do my daily sales of calling, emailing, having these meetings, etc. So how to really measure the effect that I have done in the LinkedIn by my activities?
Yeah, I think this is like some sort of maybe problematic in like the Excel world that we live in many times, that because there's not that easy ways. Like, well, in marketing, you always don't get that that's the word. You can't always see which sales and inbounds come from which marketing campaigns. So whenever you post, you might not get the idea that did this post now bring any value to the company or any sales. So I wouldn't do too much about the KPIs, but the KPIs that I would think about would be that after 6 months, you should be able to see inbound if you've been even fairly active on LinkedIn. And yeah, so basically inbounds would be the thing that that I would suggest you to keep an eye on. And maybe if you have a CRM system, you can add a new label that this inbound came from LinkedIn, and then you can also look at that. And the realistic goals, I think, let's say after 6 months, one inbound a month for example, venues like meetings, event sales is quite easy and realistic goal.
For me, because I'm kind of quite seasoned sales director and working with many sales teams, I see things a little bit hard facts and hard figures. So why I should do it if I only get one lead in a month?
Well, in my opinion, well, that's just kind of the one that you can count, that one that you know is 100% from that, and that's kind of somehow the tip of the iceberg. In my personal, for example, I work now 2 years in Runo Hotel Porvoo, and I was I ran the sales and marketing department, and of course this was things that I thought about then, and I tried to kind of track which sales came from which channels, but I noticed when I then asked from the clients that where did they find out, or where did they, sometimes they sent me an email that, hey, I would like to have an offer, and then sometimes it was apparent that they said that they saw from LinkedIn about my post, or they saw about this venue, or something like that. Hey, I saw you have meeting rooms there. I would like to have a proposal for this XYZ. So in a sense that the value is more than the ones that you know for certain, and in a sense that this is a long-term, this should be a kind of part of your sales and marketing, and it creates the like easy traction. And then also, if we come back to the rule 90-5-5, then the 90% you are trying to kind of inform about your services, then you get the inbounds is one thing from those 90%, but then also when, for example, your colleague calls them and or they you have different types of sales and different type of marketing campaigns, then they already have some kind of connection that hey, I've noticed, I've seen you on LinkedIn, or you can influence and you can keep top of mind, and can kind of benefit different ways than just the inbounds.
So it's kind of keeping the awareness up, keeping
it's also the brand awareness and awareness of your services. And I've noticed that sometimes, like, hotels might be for the locals, like it feels like hotels feel like that you cannot maybe go in there, and it's for the if it's a nicer hotel, it feels like a bit like can I hold like a birthday event in there, or they don't even know that you have meeting rooms, for example. So this is way to get the awareness of your products and services.
Exactly. And for myself, I kind of sometimes feel it's also a way to kind of test my own thoughts and ideas about the market and the change of the market. So, like your advice was the 60% of an industrial stuff. So for me, it's also on having myself a top-notch information related to the current changes and happenings in the industry.
Yeah. Actually, there's a word, social listening, which means like if you are present in the conversations about the industry in the social channels, and you get this kind of feeling what's the thoughts that people are thinking about, and usually it's a natural that if you're active there, you get it naturally. So then when you have the meetings, you have some kind of for example, meetings with clients, then you can discuss about those. So you get the trust with that as well, like offline. And actually, one like example of kind of scenario, I actually back in 2019, I was working for this startup that's actually sold to hotels, and that was before I kind of joined the hotels sales staff, and then I was targeting this one hotel chain in Spain, and I tried to get the meeting with the board of directors, and it took like almost 6 months that I didn't get the meeting with the highest board of directors. I got only the general managers or different like meetings, but I didn't get to that decision making level. And once I was sleeping in one of their hotels in Barcelona, and then I posted on LinkedIn that hey, this hotel is using WhatsApp to communicate with, and I found it very neat. And then the post got quite viral, and there was a lot of comments and likes and views. And one of the likers and commenters was I wasn't sure which direct. This was one person from the board of directors, and he also sent me a connection request and said that, hey, really nice post, thanks for posting. If there's anything I can do, let me know. So then kind of I changed the table completely from that kind of pesky salesman who tried to call and send messages to that kind of maybe not thought leader, but some type of person that they want to help and want to be with. So that's just one example of kind of how it can affect that kind of sales processes.
In the end, I feel that you kind of build a trust.
Yeah, I think so.
So it was a way to build a trust and gain the trust of the customer to proceed and discuss with you more a little bit deeper about the topic.
Yeah, and actually about the kind of goals. Now we've talked about sales and maybe there is, or not maybe, but there is different benefits. Like for example, in my team back in Runo, I had this marketing specialist recruitment, and we had this kind of a headhunter also there, but I got like a lot of these people in the recruitment from this headhunter. But I had also met one person in a Congress fair a year ago, and I had connected with her on LinkedIn, and then she had seen my post, and I had seen maybe a couple of her posts, but I actually didn't that much remember those posts. And then when I posted that we started this recruitment, she wasn't like at the moment looking for any jobs, but she had a good feeling about our hotel and about me as a team leader, and then she wrote a message that, hey, I'm not actually looking anything, but this sounded like a really nice opportunity, and I found that she was really like the perfect fit for our team, and I actually then ended up recruiting her, and that was very good recruitment. So kind of you can build employer branding with LinkedIn as well. And once we got for example this or we got different ones, but this one example that I want to also share is that because we wanted to sell to travel agencies in Japan and the groups from Japan, the hotel. So
this was when you were Sofia, or
no, this was when I was in Runo Hotel.
Runo,
so then we got from LinkedIn a message from one of these lounges in Helsinki airport that, hey, we have a lot of Japanese groups, and I noticed on LinkedIn that you, or actually it wasn't her, it was her husband had seen my post on LinkedIn, that when I posted about our ads that we made to the Japanese travelers or travel agencies, and then then she sent a message that, hey, we want to do something like cooperation. So then we got like started a cooperation with them, and just like to highlight that there's a lot of different things that you can benefit from this. And some people call it like social business, but that has other meanings as well. But mainly like social selling is a good tool for even personal branding, not personal, I mean employer branding, and also gaining cooperations and finding different values in different places.
Thank you, Max. We have pretty much gone through all the topics now, from starting of social selling and overcoming the barriers of starting being an active and posting, when to post, what to post, and also to find out your kind of best target group where you should be focusing to get the benefits in, how to really to turn those social media discussions to the real opportunities, the sales opportunities, and also for these other opportunities like employee branding. And when you do good things happens pretty much. So, and also how to measure that success in different ways. And by the way, one way we do at the Seidat is that we use these UTM tags. So every employee, when they share something to the social media, they have their own UTM tag. And then we can really track down the conversion from the social media straight to our CRM, see that how many leads or how many interactions our current actions in the social media really generated. But that is not possible to do if you don't have a CRM. And what I discussed with Max earlier, there are some hotels and a lot of hotels which still have not used or using CRM.
Mm.
But is that changing, by the way, Max?
I think so. I think it's changing. Yeah.
So they are moving towards the digitalization and using these kind of new sales tools and technologies to be a part of their current sales processes.
Yeah, and of course, when you go to hotel chains, they have more and more like deeper technology advantages.
Definitely. That's it pretty much for the social selling course and discussion. I have one thing left, because of course this is a commercial webinar. I will tell a couple words about how we as a Seidat we can benefit, and how our customer can benefit by using Seidat at their current social selling. So what is Seidat? So Seidat is a digital sales room where you can create all of kind of content what you need in your current sales efforts. You can build your fact sheets, you can build your very visual virtual tours, you can build a very personalized virtual tours. You can use different kind of content like videos, PDFs, everything what you need to convince the customer and build the trust. It's very easy to share all of these kind of content into social media and every other channel through our digital sales room. And we have this kind of link tracking, which helps us to know, and of course helps the seller know when the customer is opening the content and which slides or which pictures, which rooms, venues the customer are looking for. And of course, we have a very wide, robust analytics to see everything from there, and easy to use dashboard. And not the least, but the last, we have also assigning opportunities. So when you are building a proposals or sending proposals through Seidat, they can be electronic signed. But how to exact use Seidat in social selling? Here is one example for kind of my own activity at the LinkedIn. So I shared this webinar post to the LinkedIn, and then our marketing added a Seidat presentation which I kind of used in this webinar. So those Seidat slides, and that is a trackable link. So I really can see from the tracking side that how many times these different presentations or different content I have shared in different conversation. I can really see that how many times they are opened. Are they unopened, which means that nobody has been interested about this content. And also, of course, I don't know who has opened, but I can still see from the analytics that which slides and which rooms they have looking for. And that really helps for the salesperson to personalize and have a more deeper discussion and understanding with the customer. And here is some of our current customers which are using Seidat. So a lot of very familiar brands to you. And kind of in the nutshell, we help hotels to modernize their sales and develop their sales process by using Seidat. And I know that Seidat must be integrated to many kind of ground tools of hotels like ERP systems, booking systems, etc. But we have already done those integrations, and we have an integration platform in use, so we can really fetch that occupancy data or the customer data from the CRM straight away to the different kind of proposals and content. But thank you listening to us. And now, if you have any questions or questions to the Max, please ask and write your questions to the chat related to the social selling. Or if you are interested about booking Max to be a spokesperson to your sales team, or you want to establish and start a social selling project, please turn to the Max.
Yeah, thank you. I'd be happy if you'd connect with me on LinkedIn, or if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer. Or did we cover everything already?
I believe not, but at least we tried.
Yeah, no, 45 minutes is not nearly enough to cover.
Felix, do you have anything to ask about social selling?
Yes, of course. How would you say that social selling is different for international versus domestic markets in hospitality? If your target audience is...
Yeah, I think like, for example, hotels, they have, different kind of rooms, different sizes, different venues, different, and usually it's easiest if you can just visit the hotel and see all those. But then if they're from abroad, it's always much more hard or much more not as cheap. So then, of course, it's a great way to put yourself and your product and services to abroad. So you get your hotel around the world through social selling.
All right, thank you.
Thanks for the question.
Anyone else in your mind? Okay, I believe not. So I really welcome everybody to follow Seidat and turn out to the Max if you want to have a more discussion or even have a private discussion with Max. So please do that, and thank you everybody. Let's see at next time. Next topic will be photo shooting, how to photo shoot hotels, and how to really gain a competitive edge by having a best images possible to your venues and hotels. So photo shooting hotels will be the next webinar, and thank you everybody. Bye-bye.
Yeah, thank you. Bye.